Hey guys, we're back with the update looking at the Raiders pass defense, a unit that was horrendous last year outside of interception percentage, where they ranked in the top 10 in the league. Uh, there really is just not much to say about this unit besides they needed an overhaul in the secondary. And it's hard to do that in one off season when you've allocated a lot of resources to the offensive side of the ball and you have the contract tied up into Bruce Irvin. But it was just such a porous unit for them last year that they really had no choice but to spend two early picks on secondary players, which we'll get to in a second. But last year, the signing of Sean Smith didn't work out. David Emerson, even though he got a deal, he was largely up and down, and that's just kind of been who he's been over his career. A guy who runs hot and cold with good ball skills, and you can't really rely on an aging corner and a guy like Emerson, a guy with the archetype of Emerson being your top two corners, and you're going to see Sean Smith just get roasted here in man coverage by Julio Jones, which Julio does that a lot too. But if you're going to pay all that money for a number one corner, you would hope that he at least has a fighting chance here. So in the first round, they drafted Ohio State cornerback Gary Conley, who you're going to see here at the bottom of the screen. He's got the ideal athletic traits that you want in a number one cornerback. He does have a bit of off the field issues still going on with the alleged rape case that happened in the weeks leading to the draft. But he's a supremely talented player, and if everything clears and he can get on the field for them, he should immediately be the best cornerback. And in the second round, they drafted Obi Melifonwu, the safety from UConn, who is kind of a weird player because he's 6'4", 220, freakishly athletic, but he doesn't really hit the ham. He doesn't really lay the wood like you see guys like Cam Chancellor with Keanu Neal does. But he does have the range and ball skills that some of those guys don't, and I think it makes him a really unique player. And if you're going to play him at free safety or strong safety, I think it gives you a lot of mix and match ability with their first round pick from last year, Carl Joseph. So this is a unit that needs to get better, but they've started to pour some resources into it. It's a young secondary. Uh, Carl Joseph, Melifonwu, and Conley all have a lot of talent in their own rights, but I think when you look at the linebacker situation and the contracts of Sean Smith and David Emerson kind of eating up playing time, it's still going to be a porous unit. But down the road, this should be a better unit. And when I say down the road, I mean a few years. So we'll be back next week with our last division, the NFC West, and then we'll be done with the update series.